Crist to the shutdown. And he pulls it out to the right on the backfield of Cierre Wood. And Wood got a first down.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Back when we were undefeated,
Yeah.
things had yet to fall apart. 2 minutes of minute and a half of perfection.
You really don't even have to make a big block. Look at Trevor Robinson come out. He's the right guard. He doesn't even get a body or 34 Lattimore, but it's just
all right. So that's obviously dirty, and that's the way you want to start. You say you want to establish the run game. I mean, I get that.
I really believe he's going to have a huge season this year, Big Ten.
Although that's a technically that's a pass. All right, we'll go Floyd. Two most crucial components of your offense. Get them involved. Best receiver in the country and the best running back we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Floyd on track to totally rewrite the wide receiving record books here in Notre Dame. He came into the game 8 from tying Jeff Samardzija on the all-time receptions list, so he just moved closer. And Wood
back to Wood. You see several times in this game like he's always falling forward now. He's a lot of times he's initiating the contact. But if it's a DB, it seems like he's carrying the guy with him another yard or two. More times than not, if it's one guy. Let's go. I like with the whole fumble fest going on. The fact that Wood didn't drop the ball to me is like the guy's already made.
Yeah.
Huge. He's in the middle.
Well, you see the offensive line moving forward, pushing down, barreling downhill. That's what everybody wanted. It's different than, as we'll see later in the game, all the draws, the counter stuff. This is just straight downfield.
And I don't have a problem with it. It's just, like when Weiss would say we're gonna run Schwab 93 times in a row to establish the run. It's like, come on, man, you got to sprinkle some other stuff in here. I mean, hindsight 2020, but lob one up to Eifert in the end zone.
Real good job by the Bulls inside. Corey Grissom and McCaskill especially.
I don't know what happens after this.
Don't want their kids caught up in.
All right, next series.
There's a judicious use of the edit function.
I want to focus on 3 people right here. Cierre Wood, dirty. Turn the corner. Go.
But look, like right here again, you see offensive linemen outside. You see them moving up, pushing piles forward. Nobody has a problem with that run game. We should all be ecstatic about that.
It just disappears in the second half. I mean, you like to have the luxury of working that in a little more. Zach Martin, he's up on a lot of plays. Number 70. I thought he had a real good game. Him and Eifert, I think, are boys. So you can see those two are always up the field blocking.
Yeah,
they're taking a party forward.
Trying to get them to make some decisions, spread the field. Crist looking Floyd's way. He goes
and this from here on out, I think
it's early to nitpick, but stuff like that throw is right.
Crist starts to spiral out of control a little bit, and I mean that was.
I'm not so sure spiral is even the right word to use with him, but
Wood looking strong as ever. I mean, one thing I did notice, he took the visor off late in the second half.
Oh, I didn't.
After all the rain and fog, I would assume, but I did catch that. I was like, wait, he took that off. I'm looking for positives here.
No, these are good. Nobody denied at this point. Still, we're seeing really good holes being generated by the line.
Now has 60 yards.
And everything's downhill.
And we're down 13 points here, and we're still running. So I mean, it's like it's not out of control yet. I think we're still with the script for the most part.
His big receiver here, but a safety over the top. Here comes blitz from the corner. The quick hit to Floyd on the corner, and Floyd.
He's a beast. I mean,
that play right there sums up why you throw to him. You throw a 2-yard pass and it becomes an 8-yard.
Well, he had 12 receptions by the end of the game, which I think was a record for him. But I'd say like probably over half of them were in the second half, I would think.
He's playing soft and off. Plagued by injuries, missed his sophomore year with a knee, slowed by a quad injury, and they keep it on the ground to Wood. And not much of a game there at all. So more than 80,000 here, but silent.
Silent. Oh, this one hurt me, but I had to put this in here. Because you look at the three people right there: Eifert, Wood, Floyd, Zach Martin. Throw in Cave and Rees, and those guys right there should be able to win every game.
Well, like you mentioned before, I mean, it's the offensive lineman that's in the end zone on the play. You know, congratulating Wood there.
It's a rough call, but it's the right call. I mean, he was on him a little too long. He did pull the
I think it's a good call, but still, this play shows a decent play call, good execution.
Yeah.
I mean,
and without the penalty, it's a guaranteed touchdown. I mean,
see it much better. Whenever a ref sees fabric pulled, you know he's going to throw his own cloth.
And one.
I love to see him when it's 1 yard, he's getting 3. You know, it's not like you hit the line of scrimmage and you stop him and he's getting forward. It's just, and I put in a couple of these other plays here later in the game where they're just like, it's always, we're not quite to the end zone. It's, you know, it's 3rd and 1 from the 4-yard line. You could try to get in. Here's more at Crist. You know, Eifert is big playability. There's no doubt. He's awesome. I mean, he's a vertical tight end if there ever was one. And this right here, you know, it's a little late.
And it's not a horrible pass, but as the announcers alluded to, there was a timing difference.
Well, and look, and if you pull that stuff against USC, they're going the other way with it.
Yeah.
First half was coming to a close. We alluded to the possibility that loss of 11.
Exactly. There's just lightning hits, and next thing you know, it's like 2nd and 21.
Across the 20, and
Wood's still plugging away.
Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Now, Dayne got no answer.
3rd long.
I think you already have put Rees in at this point, and that way you could maybe put Crist back in the second half. I don't know. He must have just.
He should have caught the ball.
Because I think at 13-0 before it was 16 at 13-0. All right, now if these guys really are even, why wouldn't you at least put?
Look at Brian. It's right there. Now,
throw it on his hip.
But it's on the back hip.
That play right there, when you have a guy that's open like that.
Well, you'll see. Rees throws the exact same play, hits him in stride, and he goes for, and as long as the game is 37 yards. I mean, you'll see it in a couple minutes here. It's just, I see the stats and I see Eifert, 6 catches, 93 yards. Like I almost had 100 yards, and there for the most part, it's all in the second half. Wood's got all these great runs. It's all in the first half, so there's no distribution. The change in quarterbacks has a lot to do with that, but it's just like it's night and day.
Yeah. Well, obviously one of the things we see is that the offensive line is markedly improved. They have the ability to move downhill, but it's just football. You can't run every single play. You have to mix it up, and when you have a drive-killing pass that's not in time, or that a wide-open receiver can't get to,
on a 3rd and makeable.
You can't have your quarterback. You can't have your quarterback stopping momentum because he can't make a throw to an open guy. I mean, it doesn't matter what level you are. You just can't have it.
Well, in this particular game, there's no point in getting to the red zone anyways because you just turn it over. But there's Rees' first throw of 2011. Soft and off.
Cool as a cucumber.
Just the way we like to abuse them.
And I have no problem giving Rees a lot of credit. All the guy does is basically be ready as a backup and go in and tear it up.
He's hardcore, man.
This is no different than what happened, you know. He didn't, to my knowledge, make no complaints, just like against Tulsa. Yep, I'll go in. I'll do it.
Wood, I'm extremely impressed with him running. Yeah. We'll see how he holds up through the year. We need a backup that's even remotely close to him in skill level if we're going to make this work. We do.
I think it's one of the things that might get forgotten about this game is how well we are running the ball. And to be fair, we were doing it, like you said, we were doing it fine in the first half. I mean, we ran it all the way down the field. It's just the fumbles and the interceptions are what are killer.
Football, David Rufford with the first 23 field goal attempts of his career after coming out of the inner hall.
What do you do here as a center? Flinch your fingers? You're doing. It's a guy right over the ball is going hot. You're doing something. Yeah. As a former center, I know something happened.
Now? Snap it now? You mean not right now? Oh, okay. Okay, 1, 2 on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
But he's just a redshirt sophomore who jumps off sides. And
God bless you.
Rees is back out on the field. Perfect 3 for 3.
Another crack at it.
As this drive continues at the 20 of South Florida. Rees with a quick kick to Floyd again.
Just a beast, man. And you know notice how many plays we've had around that right edge? Whether it's Wood, whether it's Floyd. If you can get that first block, you got the corner, that's good for at least another 4 yards. Turn that guy,
Gain of 15
you know,
for Floyd.
you got another nickel.
And I think they're going to play this safety over top.
Apparently we didn't score there either.
Try to take him out.
Bam. All right. Exact same plays before.
This is the same play.
It's the same play.
Dragging down inside the 30. Gain of 38.
This isn't about stacking Crist and Rees up on one play. It's not about taking both of their entire careers and putting it on one play. But this is saying, look, you have the exact same environment, you have the exact same characteristics, and basically the same play. And frankly, Rees has a smaller window. If you remember that other play, he has a much smaller visual window to make that pass.
You love how Eifert covers that ball. He's a behemoth. Good. Hey, you know what? He didn't get the first down.
It's a little low. He had to scoop it, but it's not at his feet. It's catchable. I mean, nobody can complain about catchable.
And it's 2nd and 3. So there you go. Beast mode. Who's down there? 3, 80, 11. Who are the guys that are stepping up? Is what I ask myself. 20, 3, 11, 80. That's the guys. That's the guys. If you ask me, those are the people that are going to make it happen this year.
Anybody watching this can make their own judgment. Does Crist make that throw with that touch? Just ask yourself, and it can be rhetorical.
Look, do you see? I mean,
does Crist make this throw? That's all you have to ask yourself is, if he's still in the game at this point, does he make that throw? And that connection between Rees and Floyd right there that's one of the main reasons I didn't kill myself after this game.
And they keep it on the ground. It's been a while since
up the middle, roll. Hey, kick in the head? Ain't that a kick in the head?
If we did that, it would be a personal foul.
Yeah, some of the penalties, we're not focusing on defense here. I thought defense was fine. Wood about to hit 100 yards with 3 minutes to go in the third, and he only ends up with 104. So he's got 5 more rushing yards in the next 18 minutes of football.
Yeah. And again, here you look at Floyd. That throw is not entirely special. That's a throw that Crist can make easily, but for whatever reason, you get the big man the ball,
or you don't look at him. Hey, you got the best guy. He didn't break anything.
Please don't send him toward a brick wall. Whatever you do.
Was it Michigan or Michigan State? The guy just racked the wall right at like the last play of the game last year. Do you remember that? Oh, I have to find that. Man.
First down and 10. Just inside the 20.
Maybe Tulsa. I don't know. Some guy at the end of it just wrecked himself.
The third quarter. And they get it to Wood. And he drags some balls with him inside the 15. Big power run by Wood. Critical mistake.
It's different. It'd be different if they're calling different plays for Rees. I think they're the same plays, man.
Huge mistake yet. Michael Floyd.
Last year they were calling a different offense, so you had to say like, well, maybe Rees did better because they're running a more scaled down version of the playbook. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that he gets more throws, but you know what? When you're down 16-0 and the clock's running out and the storm's coming, then you're going to throw more.
But do you think he gets more out of the players on the field too? Does it seem to you like
I think the number
to his cool, Joe Cool attitude, whereas Crist always looks like he's freaking out, and that translates.
I think there's that. I think Crist has a little bit of connection there, but I think the biggest thing we're seeing, as we alluded to earlier, there's consistent momentum when you see Rees out there. You don't have abrupt stops in momentum.
Dude,
when an open receiver drops the ball.
How can Ramo be 3?
Possession receiver, man.
I guess.
really thought he was become one of their better defensive players. Here he is right here. He's going to redirect. He's playing zone. Rees coming back out and makes.
I like that for no other reason. That was his third out. He checked 3 times.
Tough player since they played Miami last year. He's elevated his game.
Ball spotted at the 39.
Yeah, and there's some throws like this where you have to be fair. I think that this isn't a throw that Crist can't make, but luck's a part of it. We got a flag. We get a positive outcome.
Dirty.
This throw, even though Floyd makes an unbelievable catch here, it's putting the ball where only your receiver gets it, which is like something you hear since 5th grade. And again, I mean, this is like this is why Rees is the quarterback. That throw.
Nasty. Look at Springman. You see Springman's big old red head out there? That's great.
That throw sells Tommy Rees right there.
Way to hang on, big fella.
They're trying to take him out of the football game. He can't let Floyd in the inside. Floyd takes it away. Lattimore reaches with the roll.
Look at Wood flying in at the end.
Yeah.
I like it.
Really comfortable in the pocket, looking right, bringing it back left.
They're trying to strip him from behind. You can see Jenkins. 3rd and goal. And this time Wood is in for the touchdown.
Again. Wood, he's getting forward, he's getting back, he's getting, just not quite there, This one will finally break through.
But I'm telling you, 4 years ago, that play, I'm not even so sure that play right there happens.
Same guys in the frame. I wonder why. Ballless. We just need to get Riddick in the mix, man. I mean, we'll jump on his wagon when it arrives, but he ain't at the train station yet.
Yeah.
That's a first down to Eifert.
The game will be suspended again.
120 left.
I had time to actually sober up before the end of the game,
right, exactly,
and start a new buzz. It was great.
Anticipating a season opener at Notre Dame, but coming in ranked
find the open guy, get the first down, keep the drive going. I know it's garbage time at this point, but
and in South Florida about to throw a big.
This was a long game.
So this is the first time you've even seen
this. This is the first time I've seen this, yeah.
Pressure by Rees, and Eifert's able to hang on for another first down. Clock stopped at a minute left as Rees hurries him up to the line after a gain of 19.
I understand you're dealing with a prevent there, but that's just, there's a good looking pocket.
1 minute, there's 1 minute, 50 yards is what you got right here.
Another big game by the tight end. Tommy Rees.
Eifert padding the stats.
Probably a late hit here.
Feed the big man.
Rees was good call. Rees still in the game. So 15-yard gain on the pass, another 8 on the penalty. Half the distance to the goal they go. 1st and goal. Clock running 28 seconds. Notre Dame out of timeouts. Down by 10. Needs 2 scores.
Got to be
Rees to the end zone. And it's who other than Floyd for the score.
Unbelievable wide receiver. Great tight end. Great running back. Great quarterback. I don't see a problem with that.
So final stats: Wood 21 carries for 104 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions for 44 yards. So 14.7 yards per touch on the receiving side. Floyd 12 for 154, 2 TDs, 12.8 per touch. Eifert 6 for 93, 15.5 yards per touch, longest to 37, which we had to point out was the exact same throw that Crist hit him on the back shoulder.
And you'll notice how many times Eifert is between the hash marks, covering the ball, protecting the possession, getting drilled, right in the middle, between the hashes, thrown to Eifert is a total. That's a total opportunity for Notre Dame offensively this year because he's willing to go in there. He has the body to take the hit. He can catch the ball. He can hold on to it. And if there's any space, he can break it. He can get a 37-yard reception as a tight end.
Rees ends up with 24 for 34 for 296 yards, 8.7 yards per completion, 2 TDs, a pick. That's all in the second half. One thing I did find interesting as far as our core 3 guys here that we're trying to establish today, Wood, Floyd, and Eifert, a total of them of 42 touches to include both runs and passes for Cierre, but 42 touches between those 3 players for 395 yards, an average of 9.4 yards per touch for those 3 guys. So again, it's no knock on Riddick or Tyler Jones or any of these other guys, but when you look at your big 3, 42 touches for 400 yards at 9.5 yards a touch.
And the other thing, the huge elephant in the room here is how many turnovers were attributed to these guys and how many turnovers were attributed to some of the other ancillary offensive players. And that's what you're finding, is that these 3 guys are not only giving you serious production, but they're the ones protecting the ball, and they're the sure-handed guys that they're not dropping it, they're not putting the ball on the ground. If it's in the zone, they're going to catch it and they're going to make a play.
And props to Cierre for getting into the group of the good boys here, because he was ball dropping #1 last year. So props to him. And the last thing we'll leave you with is Brian Kelly said it in the post-game wrap-up. Sometimes it's a question of how you respond when 80,000 people are there in front of you. And my question is, are you going to lean on the guys that haven't yet proven themselves, or are you going to go to the big 3 here? Because guess what? There ain't 80,000 people next week. There's 100+ at the big house,
and it's
at night.
And it's going to be slightly more hostile than a couple polite boos when you don't like play calling. So what you saw was basically the most comfortable, polite environment that Notre Dame's going to be in at home against a team that we have 0 bad blood with in South Florida, a team that was probably going to travel the least to South Bend. No hostile crowd, no nothing. Granted, there was weather, but they had to deal with it just the same. That game's as easy as it gets. If you're not ready, you know, just like Kelly said the previous year, if I have to teach you, if I have to get you excited in the springtime to play football in South Bend, Indiana, you have a problem.